Hey guys, it's Xander from Player's Perspective. The following video is a segment from our podcast. If you like the video, you can check out our other content on YouTube, such as segments like these, or you can check out our full length podcast. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And with that out of the way, let's get into the video. All right, if you guys don't know what we're talking about the submarine, the OceanGate stuff. And yeah, so OceanGate stuff seems really sketchy. There's a lot of weird stuff that was going on with that. The CEO, what's his name? Do you know off the top of your head?
I forget. I forget.
The the CEO was caught saying a lot of sketchy things about the submarine, and it did not seem safe at all. So
Well, let's address him by his name. I don't want.
Okay.
Let me find it real quick.
The CEO's name is Stockton Rush. He got caught doing a whole bunch of sketchy things, cutting corners, and a lot of people made a big deal about his Logitech gaming controller that he was using to pilot the OceanGate submarine, the submersible.
Yeah, and honestly, I don't see how that could be. Like, I think they made more of a deal about it than they had to. Like, how much
Yeah.
of that, like, would it have changed anything? You know what I mean? Would it still have imploded,
Yeah.
regardless of what they used to steer it? Like, yes, it does seem cheap because especially they're showing that the controller is only $30, so obviously they cheaped out. But I
Yeah.
mean, does that actually affect the sum? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, I
did
mean,
it do anything? Like, if they had a normal sub steering,
yeah,
whatever, I don't even know
yeah,
what they would use, but if they had a
yeah, I don't know,
normal,
like steering
steering
mechanism for it.
mechanism, then you know what I mean. We wouldn't even be talking about that. We would
Yeah,
just because it's a Logitech controller. Now
yeah.
everybody's freaking out. Like,
I think it's more funny, honestly, that
mhm.
he's using a Logitech controller. Now, it is kind of weird that he's using a controller that is wireless, because what if it dies and you're in the fucking
Mhm.
submersible? Do you have a backup controller or what?
I mean, I would hope so.
I would hope so too.
But the thing that people don't look into, and I haven't even looked into it, that's how I know people
Yeah,
don't. Like, what was this? There's obviously a purpose for that controller. He had some sort of system that worked with that controller.
yeah,
Now, I'm not saying that it's safe. I'm not saying that it's not safe. I'm just saying he obviously knew that that would work. And in my honest opinion, I think they use that because that's all they had room for. Because
I mean,
as you may have heard, they were all sitting. You have to sit in that thing, and you're pretty much
yeah,
like
with five
side by
people.
side. Yeah, you're like side
Yeah,
by side. There's not really much movement.
yeah.
So,
I mean, they also had a shitter in there, so that's
well,
pretty
yeah,
sick.
and that's what I'm saying. So, like, if you know what I'm saying, there's just not enough room for everything. So they found a way to use that, and I mean, they had multiple successful trips.
Yeah,
The
yeah. I
actually
mean,
the writer of Simpsons, the writer of The Simpsons literally said that he went on 3 trips on this same sub with the CEO, and 2 of the out of the 3 trips, they went and saw the submarine.
yeah,
So, they had successful trips. Now, and again, I'm not trying to, like, say that everything they did was safe and, you know, they should have definitely changed things, but I'm just saying this thing has been successful. So,
yeah, yeah. But
I don't think you should blame the controller is what I'm saying. I don't think the
well, yeah,
controller was the overall
the
issue.
controller is not the issue,
I think
but
I think the actual sub was the issue.
I do see. So I saw there's an issue with how these are mounted on here.
Mhm.
Um, and the thing that they use to construct the outside of this, we'll go into it later in one of the articles where he cut corners doing shit. But
So
these
I
are
was actually,
wall mounted
yeah,
into the like
yeah,
that doesn't seem good.
I was thinking that actually when I saw that picture, I'm like, should you really be having like holes? You know what I mean? Like,
Like
yeah, that's
like
sealed.
mounting it onto the wall.
Yeah, that's a little sketchy. Um, I mean, I guess the actual screw is kind of sealing it, but not really because you can still like,
Well, I think it's weakening whatever material that's
yeah, it's
supposed to
definitely
actually keep the
it's
pressure inside.
it's weakening, but also I feel like it could leak. So I don't know. It's yeah, that's doesn't seem very
Well,
safe.
if it could leak, then they're really fucked.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like it's definitely sketchy.
Because if that shit leaking, there is no way this thing would hold up.
Yeah.
Um,
And who knows, maybe that's what happened.
yeah. So there was a whole bunch of like theories on what was going on. Obviously, they were searching for a while, and they thought that they could be retrievable. They thought maybe they were stuck down there. They got caught on something or whatever, and that didn't happen. They weren't stuck down there for what 5 days
Yeah, something like
or
that.
4 or 5 days.
Mhm.
I could not imagine being stuck in a tube with five other people with one shitter and no food at the bottom of the fucking ocean. Like
I
that would be
don't I mean,
scary as shit.
yeah, it would be scary as hell, especially because it gets freezing too. Like, I read
Yeah,
this article that said that the temperatures at night would get down to, like, 30 degrees or something like that, so they had, like, high chances for hypothermia and everything. So,
really?
yeah.
There's like
So
they it doesn't maintain heat in there.
well, maybe. I don't know. I really don't know. I mean,
Well, I guess if it shuts off, then it
well,
probably
if it was
couldn't.
off, right, it was
Yeah,
off, there's nothing they could do. Imagine if the
yeah,
controller just batteries died, then what are you gonna do? You know what I'm saying?
yeah. So let me
I
click
was
on
being
this.
sarcastic.
Oh, wait, say it again.
I said maybe the controller batteries died, I don't know.
Let's click on this next article. So, search day 4. There was debris was found off the bow of the sunken Titanic. Officials said. So they, I think they initially thought this debris could have been like the deployable, like whatever thing that they used to like lift it up out of the
Oh,
water,
yeah,
like
yeah.
emergency thing. And I guess that wasn't the case. Uh, all oh, I guess this is different. This was the other debris that was found. So all five people aboard the Titan submersible are believed to be dead, and debris discovered in the search area was consistent with a catastrophic implosion. The U.S. Coast Guard said. The debris was found off the bow of the sunken Titanic, officials said. The search for the Titan, which went missing Sunday after it embarked on a mission to survey the wreckage of the Titanic, had been focused on an area where Canadian aircraft detected underwater noises Tuesday and again yesterday. So I want to briefly mention this because a whole lot of people were saying on Twitter, and it was pissing me off because they were basically saying, well, the US government already knew that they were dead, so why are they trying to save a bunch of rich people who they already know are dead? Like, why are they wasting times and resources on this?
Yeah,
And it's like they didn't know. You don't know for sure what the fucking noise are. Like
right.
they even stated that there's random noises in the ocean all the fucking time. Like one of the most terrifying noises that happen. Have you ever heard of the bloop? Like no one knows what the fuck that was.
I don't think I have heard that actually. What is that?
It's it's basically it's hypothesized that there was a cracking of a glacier or something, and it's scary because of the absolute magnitude that it would take to cause the sound that was on there. But it literally sounds like bloop, like something dropping into the water,
Hmm,
and it's like recorded super fast. It's
that's interesting.
Yeah. So they have no idea what that is, but there's been
See,
other.
I heard, and again, this is all like word of mouth. Like we don't really know, but apparently there was like knocking noises every 30 minutes to the second, which would mean like they were obviously like trying to get the attention. Well, at the time they thought they were trying to get the
Yeah,
attention
yeah.
by
If they're
doing every
knocking,
30 minutes to the
yeah.
second. But it's like,
Which, I mean, it would make sense because if they're knocking, trying to be like, "Hey, we're over here." Like,
yeah,
obviously, they're trying to listen for sounds that are going on in the ocean.
yeah.
Um, and if they pick up random shit that's going on, I mean,
But
sucks for them.
that's odd that they would every 30 minutes to the exact second. That's like I can't
Yeah,
even I don't know. Who knows what that was? They still don't know what
yeah,
that was.
yeah. Um, yeah. I don't. I mean, that consistency. I mean, maybe it was something going on with the actual Titanic, but then if it's every 30 minutes, then who knows? Because
And to that exact second too, I find that
yeah,
odd.
yeah. Um, so U.S. Coast Guard officials had estimated the 5 passengers could run out of air before 7:10 a.m. ET today. Well, not today.
That
What
was
was it?
Thursday.
Thursday. And the location of the missing vessel had remained a mystery even as the search intensified. What to know about the search for the Titan? The debris found at the seafloor was consistent with a catastrophic implosion of the vessel. Coast Guard said today that a debris field had been found in the search area. The submersible disappeared Sunday during a mission to survey the wreckage of the Titanic, which is 900 nautical miles east of Cape Cod, Massachusetts. Okay. I don't know how that's important. Is it just how long people would take to get there for another submersible or what? I don't understand why that's important. Want me to read
Mm,
it again?
no, the submersible disappeared Sunday during a mission to survey the wreckage.
Which is 900 nautical miles east of Cape Cod, Massachusetts. So I'm just wondering why they added that tidbit. Probably because it's just how long it
Just
would take someone,
yeah,
another submersible to get out there.
probably just like just as like a time frame note.
Yeah. Yeah. A sound consistent with an implosion was heard Sunday, shortly after the submersible lost communications. The the A the A
The
NBC
A
News.
senior.
Fix your fucking
The
article
A
here.
senior.
A senior U.S. Navy official said the sound was not definitive. The official said, "God, why do they write it like this?" Oh well. Those on board have been identified as Stockton Rush, the CEO of OceanGate Expeditions, the company behind the mission, uh, British billionaire Hamish Harding, the owner of Action Aviation, French dive expert Paul Henry. I'm not even going to pronounce or try to pronounce that. And
Nargalet.
yeah, and prominent Pakistani businessman Shahzada Dawood and his son Sulman. I botched those. Now, what's really sad is the son is 19, and we'll go over it, but apparently he did not want to be on the submarine. Um, but let's get into some more of the sketchy stuff that was going on with the Titan sub.
Yeah, so apparently that 19-year-old told his aunt before they left that he was actually only going because it was like a Father's Day gift
Yeah,
and he knew that his dad really wanted to go. So that's why
yeah,
he went.
yeah. I mean, that's it. Really sucks that the whole reason why he went was just to um like have a bond with his
Right.
dad and stuff. So that really sucks. And anyone who's like celebrating his death or celebrating the death of all these people in here, I mean it's so fucked up. I've seen so many people on Twitter.
I know.
It's pretty disgusting.
Just people who are hating on people because they have more money than they do. That's all it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah. All right. So Titan Sub CEO dismissed safety warnings as baseless cries. Email show.
Well, let me say something real quick before.
Yeah.
Everybody that hates on other people who have more money, you have the wrong mindset.
Yeah.
That's just plain and simple. Seeing people be successful should not make you hate. It should make you hungry. Like that bothers me so much. Like I don't understand how people have that mindset. Like, oh, they paid
Yeah.
$250,000 to get on that submarine. Who cares? It's like because they can.
Yeah.
Like, don't hate on the fact that they did it.
Yeah. I see. My big problem is just like people don't understand why people would pay that much to go see that Titanic. Well,
Right.
because it's a historical event. Like who, like if I could see the Titanic in person and could have guaranteed safety during the trip, I'd be like, fuck yeah! Like that would be so cool. Like that would be
Yeah.
so fucking interesting to be able to see like a historic vessel like that. Um, I mean, that same thing goes with that. What the Virgin Galactic people who were
Mm-hmm.
gonna take people for like space rides. Like
Yeah.
that's sick. That's like
Yeah.
fucking insane. Like
Well, not that we have to get into this right now, but the future is space. Like I don't think a lot of people
yeah,
realize that. Like they are literally going to have space hotels,
yeah,
and you're going to be able to go in orbit, and literally stay in a hotel. Like that's insane. Like we don't have to get into that right now, but
yeah,
that's like crazy. Like
yeah. I mean, we probably won't see that in our lifetime, but I do. Just a side tangent. I do really hope we get to see the beginnings of like our big space expedition.
yeah, yeah. I mean we will.
Like,
Elon has took to Twitter and pretty much said that we will go to Mars a lifetime. So
yeah.
that's cool. That's cool to
Well,
know. But yeah,
I,
like I said, if your mindset is to hate on the people who have more money than you do, you're doing it all wrong.
the only person you should really hate in this situation is the fucking CEO.
Yeah,
Like
honestly, cutting
he
corners and
yeah, doing lots of sketchy things with the submarine. Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
I guess he does have a waiver that says you could potentially die like five
it's on
different
the
times.
it's on the first page 6 times. So I can only imagine out of that. There's probably a booklet. I can only
Yeah,
on the first page it mentions death 6 times.
yeah,
So I mean, if you're gonna be mad at anybody, be mad at the CEO, but
yeah.
definitely don't be mad at the people who are able to afford to go see one of the most historic events in
In U.S. history, and
all of I would say all of history in general.
I wouldn't go that far,
I
but
mean, what do people think of when they all right,
but
maybe I'm taking a little bit too far, but still, that's still a crazy event.
yeah, yeah. Well,
Definitely
I
one of
mean
the biggest US events. Definitely.
the world's largest vessel. I mean, yeah, or well, cruise vessel at that point.
At that time, yeah.
Yeah. Um.
Um but yeah.
All right. Okay, so Titan sub CEO dismissed safety warnings as baseless cries. Email show. Warnings over the safety of OceanGate's Titan submersible were repeatedly dismissed by the CEO of the company. Email exchanges with a leading deep sea exploration specialist show. And I don't think I've seen this before. In messages seen by the BBC, Rob McCallum told OceanGate CEO Stockton Rush that he was potentially putting his clients at risk and urged him to stop using the sub until it had been certified by an independent agency. Mr. Rush responded that he was tired of industry players who try to use a safety argument to stop innovation. Okay, that sentiment is, I kind of agree with it, but considering that you're taking other people with you, like if you're sacrificing your own life in the pursuit of innovation, like I can respect that. Like
Yeah.
people have done a lot of dangerous things in the pursuit of innovation,
Mhm.
and I definitely respect that. But if you get like a group of people killed because you're so-called innovation is like defective and will end up killing them, like, no, you need to beef up the safety standards of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
The tense exchange ended after OceanGate's lawyers threatened legal action, Mr. McCallum said. I think you are potentially placing yourself and your clients in a dangerous dynamic, he wrote to the OceanGate boss in March 2018. In your race to Titanic, you are mirroring the famous catch cry, she is unsinkable. Okay.
Mm,
In the messages, Mr. Rush, who was among 5 passengers who died when the Titan experienced what officials believe was a catastrophic implosion, on Sunday expresses frustration with the criticism of Titan's safety measures. We have heard the baseless cries of "you are going to kill someone" way too often, he wrote. I take this as a serious personal insult. Bro. Like, that's kind of fucked. Like, if you are legitimately potentially risking people, well, not even potentially, because we know that he
yeah,
risked other people's lives, like, your safety standards aren't fucking up to date, bro. Like, you need to
yeah,
bump those
clearly.
numbers up, bro.
Mhm.
Um, and he takes it as a personal insult. Like, how egotistical do you have to be to someone complaining about your safety measures, and he's like, "Well, no one's died so far, so don't
Yeah.
insult me like that, bro."
It's like when somebody's a bad driver, they're like, "Did you die?"
Did she die? Yeah. Mr. McCallum told the BBC that he repeatedly urged the company to seek certification for the Titan before using it for commercial tours. The vessel was never certified or classed.
Of course, it wasn't. It shouldn't even be legal at that point. I mean, now there's going to be regulations, but there should have been regulations before.
Yeah.
It
I mean,
definitely needs to be certified. Come on, bro. I
yeah.
can't even drive a forklift without being certified. Come on now.
Until a sub is classed, tested, and proven, it should not be used for commercial deep dive operations. That I agree with. Like, if you are selling like rides for civilians to ride around in and shit, they need to be tested properly, and yeah, they should be certified. Like, this is safe for exploration uses for the public. You need a fucking
Absolutely.
disclaimer on there. I implore you to take every care in your testing and sea trials and to be very, very conservative, he's added. As much as I appreciate entrepreneurship and innovation, you are potentially putting an entire industry at risk.
That's an interesting take.
I mean,
I mean,
I guess
people are definitely going to be,
he's not wrong.
yeah,
He
because
is,
people are definitely going to be more afraid of it now. So
yeah.
obviously, if nobody's buying, you can't sell.
Well,
So, I mean,
we have to, like, let's put it in perspective real quick. Let me pull up the how deep the Titanic is.
like 12,000 feet. Oh, it's 13,000 feet.
13,000. So I want to show the comparison. I mean, I guess I can show depth scale. Is this better? I mean, I guess this works right here. We might even come back to this article. I'm not sure. Okay. So this is image in new tab. Can I zoom up on this? Okay. Okay. The deepest whale dive, all right, is 10,000 feet. The Titanic is chilling around 12,500 feet. Okay. And I don't even, this isn't even where whales normally hang out. I'm pretty sure they hang
Yeah.
out around like, what was it, like 6,000?
Yeah, I think it was like 6,000. Yeah.
Well, I have to go find the other one. But if you're in a submersible, like a lot of stuff, I don't know about a lot of stuff, but you're probably safe way up here, okay?
Hmm.
Like, let's just put it in perspective. Like, this is super, super deep. Um, this is interesting. Deepest dive in a manned submarine is almost 36,000 feet.
Yeah,
That's
that is
actually
crazy.
insane.
That is crazy.
Um, let me see if I can find a better one. Okay, do you want me to just read this one?
Yeah.
Okay, so deepest recorded scuba dive is 336 meters. 500. Well, this is over 500. So this looks about 750 meters. Typical maximum military submarine depth is, yeah, it seems about 750. Probably a little less, like um 650 or something like that. 1,000 meters, sunlight disappears. 1,280 meters, the depth longer loggerhead turtles can dive to. 1,800 meters, the depth elephant seals can hunt at. What are elephant seals?
I don't know.
3,000 meters, deepest recorded sperm whale dive. And then, what? Oh, this is in meters, duh. This isn't feet.
Yeah.
3,800 meters, depth where Titanic rests.
We
So,
can put feet on the left when we post the video.
yeah. So I'm assuming most of these submarine dives are not going to be going like super, super deep. So I don't think you have to worry about being crushed as much,
Yeah.
obviously. So I want people to like never get into like a submarine because I think that's going to happen to them. I would like just ask what depth the submarine is capable of diving into. I mean, I guess it can always be dangerous because when you're in deep waters like this, obviously something could go
Anything can
wrong.
happen. Anything can happen.
Yeah,
But see, that's the thing is like you risk your life every time you get into a car. You
yeah,
risk your life every time you even go outside, even
yeah.
going to sleep. Like, I don't know.
I mean,
Like
yeah, sitting still, your life is at constant
that's what
threat.
I'm saying. Like you risk your life doing many different things. Like this
Yeah,
is you risk your life when you get on an airplane. You risk your like literally anything that you do,
yeah,
you're risking your life. So like honestly, the fact that people are like hating on the fact that it was all rich people. Like, okay,
yeah,
what's the like cool. Like
yeah.
um
Oh, I forgot to. Oops. Oh
but
my
it's kind
God, I
of
did that again.
I want to compare it to kind of like range anxiety for people who don't want to get electrical vehicles or electric vehicles.
Yeah,
So they decide I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it home. But it's like in a gas car. You don't know if you're going to make it home either. So I don't know. It's kind of like I said it's for anything. That's when he said
yeah.
like for the whole industry
I mean,
possibly.
it makes sense because a lot of people are going to be scared off from like doing any like submarine stuff.
But imagine if they reported every single car accident that happened every day that someone died.
Yeah,
It would be thousands.
yeah,
People just stop buying cars because they're scared. They don't want to get in cars, and
yeah.
I
It's
doubt
just
it.
you just have to be aware of what your actual risk
Right.
level is.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
This is obviously higher,
yeah, like
and they knew
like
that going into
way
it.
way higher, like
Yeah.
exponentially fucking higher. Um, well, the thing is though they didn't know. I don't think they knew the exact risks. Okay, and
Yeah.
that's the biggest issue because
Hmm.
the CEO cut corners, probably didn't inform them correctly of the risk that they are taking. Like, yes,
Right.
it said like 5, 6 times you may die on this, but I doubt that they knew that the submarine was not built according to industry standards.
Yeah.
So, like, it's not really their fault for not being able to understand the risk because the CEO essentially lied to them. So that's my biggest contention.
I mean, who knows? You know, we're not really going to know what the CEO said. We're not really going to know. I mean,
Well, I'm sure there's probably some people who know what he was saying.
yeah, but will that ever come out? I don't know.
Yeah.
But after being told time after time that you shouldn't be doing this and risking other people's lives and he still did it, that's a problem.
Yeah.
That I have a problem with.
Okay.
That'd be like saying like a car company puts out cars that aren't certified and don't have standards. And you got to sign a waiver to buy one that says at any time you could die.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Like,
um, they do like waivers like that for skydiving and shit. Like, obviously, if you're falling from, I don't know how many feet up in the air, like over what 10,000 feet. I don't know how high
yeah,
up you
I
go,
don't know how they go either,
but you have to sign waivers for skydiving, and I'm pretty sure you have to sign waivers for what's the like bungee
yeah,
jumping.
bungee jumping, yeah.
So like,
Bro, you got to sign waivers to go into laser tag. Come on, bro.
to,
You got to sign a waiver when you go karting.
yeah.
Like, bro, there's a waiver for everything.
Um,
I had to have my mom sign a waiver to let the school bring me to the zoo when I was like, come on now.
all right, all right, all right. Let me read what the CEO actually said. So, CEO and founder Stockton Rush once boasted about breaking some rules in order to build the Titan submersible. Rush made the fateful comments in a 2021 interview with Mexican travel blogger Alan Estrada. I think it was General MacArthur who said, "You're remembered for the rules you break." He said in the video interview, "You know, I've broken some rules to make this, the Titan, obviously. I think I've broken them with logic and good engineering behind me." One such rule he claimed to have broken was using carbon fiber and titanium for the materials used to construct the Taurus Titanic-bound deep-sea sub. Carbon fiber and titanium, there's a rule you don't do that. Well, I did. Like, how bad does that sound?
That sounds horrible.
It's
Well,
picking...
just for information's sake,
Yeah,
look up what you should use
okay, yeah.
because I don't know the exact.
Let's see. What materials should you use to build a submarine? High-strength alloyed steel is still the main material for submarines today, with 250 to 350 meters depth limit, which
Okay,
cannot...
so now type in what material should you use to build a submarine to go to the Titanic for
For
depths
I'll
of the
say
Titanic.
I'll say for extreme depths. Okay,
Of course.
that didn't really work. What was the best material?
Okay, so carbon steel.
Carbon steel. Let's see, what is the strongest material? HY80 is a high tensile, high yield strength, low alloy steel. It was developed for use in naval applications, specifically the development of pressure hulls for the U.S. nuclear submarine program, and is still currently used in many naval applications. It is valued for its strength to weight ratio.
See, that still doesn't really help me because
Yeah.
even the military only go down like I think it's like whatever 500 meters equals in feet. I don't know.
Let me look up deepest manned submersible.
36,000
10
feet.
feet. Yep.
That is insane.
And has also visited the Titanic before. Okay, so let's see. Can we? Hopefully, it tells us what it's made out of. The vessel is primarily designed for observation instead of manipulating things on the seafloor, though it is capable of staying underwater for 8 hours and has an expansive floodlight system. Impressive. I mean, I guess you would need to because you can't see shit down there.
Yeah.
Um, Alvin is currently owned by the United States Navy and operated by Woods Hole Oceanographic Institute in Massachusetts. That looks pretty sick. Dude, that would be
That
so
does.
fucking scary.
That would, bro.
I need to see what it's made out of, buddies. Made out.
I saw cardboard, bro.
Cardboard.
Imagine. Right there. What is the deepest dive of some? Oh, never mind. Bad.
Yeah.
Did that wrong.
Let me see. Let me do. What is the deepest submersible? Or what is the deepest dive submersible made out of? Much of its bulk is taken up by buoyancy foam made of tiny glass spheres suspended in polymer resin. I don't think this helps us.
Type in what is the name of the deepest diving submersible, and then just look
it
up
up on
name.
Wikipedia. Yeah. The Challenger Deep. No,
that's the deepest part of the ocean.
Jesus Christ! Oh my god.
You're pulling a Jay Styles right now, bro.
Yeah.
Okay, but that has gone.
Oh wait, this is Deep Sea
Challenger.
Okay.
Yeah, Deep Sea Challenger. So then just type in what is the Deep Sea Challenger made of?
Deep Sea Challenger. Hold on. I'm just gonna look it up. Wikipedia. Development. Created. Okay. Working in a small engineering workshop in Leichhardt, Sydney, Alum created new materials, including a specialized structural synthetic foam called IsoFloat, capable of withstanding the huge compressive forces at the 11-kilometer 6.8 depth. The new foam is unique, and that is more homogeneous and possesses greater uniform strength than other commercially available syntactic foam yet, with a specific density of about 0.7, will float in water. The foam is composed of very small hollow glass spheres suspended in epoxy resin and comprises about 70% of the submarine's volume. Huh.
That's interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting. All right, well, there you go. That's what you have to make that shit out of.
No wonder it wasn't even available to him. That's why he didn't make it out of it.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah. Okay, I guess we can talk about or I guess we already did talk about it. Let's just see if there's anything else added to it. Yep.
Right there. His aunt and that her brother had been fascinated with the Titanic since he was a boy, often watching film documentaries and seeking out the museum exhibits concerning the ocean liner,
which sank in 1912. She didn't say whether Suleman shared his father's fascination, but indicated that the teenager told another family member that he wasn't eager, and allegedly even terrified to join his father on the June 18th submersible expedition, despite his father purchasing tickets for them both. Damn. I am thinking of Suleman, who is 19 in there, just perhaps gasping for breath. Well, I guess the good thing is that they didn't suffer. They died almost immediately. So.
Yeah. That is the good thing. I mean, it's obviously not a good thing, but it's better than suffering.
Well, it's the better. It's if you're guaranteed to die,
that's the best way.
It's the best way. Um, yep. So I'm thinking of someone who is 19 in there, just perhaps gasping for breath. Asthma, tooled outlet. It's been crippling, to be honest. Yeah. Such a shame.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, in the days following the Titan's initial loss of contact with its support ship Sunday, search and rescue teams looked for the missing submersible for several days via air, sea, and remotely operated underwater vehicles (ROVs). On Thursday, Coast Guard officials briefed the media on an ORV's discovery of debris determined to belong to the Titan, indicating all 5 men on the sub had been lost. So, I think that's all we're going to get from this, sadly.
Yeah.
Um, Sucks. I really feel bad for the kid. I don't think I mean, just like everyone else on that submarine, I don't think they all really understood exactly how dangerous what they were doing is. And the fact that he didn't even want to be there on top of it,
Yeah,
it's just
it makes it worse.
makes it a lot worse. Um, yeah. So very, very sad event. And like I said before, please, if you're a Twitter dumbfuck, stop celebrating, please. It is definitely a tragedy and should not have happened. And the CEO is fucked for not being up to industry standards. So, yeah.